like to call this meeting to order. Thank you for joining us during our weekly hybrid MLS breakfast meeting. My name is Tomas Wong with Coldwell Banker George Realty, and I am your September program chair. Thank you. This is the second time, so time flies. The last time I was the chair was back in May, so 3 months goes so fast. So right now, I would like to call Steve to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. United States of America, and to the Republic for which stand, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Steve. Now I would like to call Oriana Chen. She's going to do the inspirational quote. Thank you, Oriana. So moving on. Okay, since today is my second time and I'm doing being the chair of the MLS breakfast, I thought about trying something different today. So instead of telling you how wonderful I am as a realtor, I'm going to make you guys be the start of the meeting. So what I would like you to do is, why don't you take your best companion, which is the smartphone, and give it your best smile. Okay, with the best smile, take a selfie yourself. If you feel comfortable, you can take a selfie next to the person next to you. And then after that, I want, with that big smile, I want you to wish happy Labor Weekend to the person right next to you. Does that make sense? And I'm going to tell you why I'm doing that. Okay, so don't take too long. I'm going to do the same thing. So Belen, I want you in the background. Remember, a big smile. Okay, looking good. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, a few housekeeping tips. All participants will be muted upon entry to the MLS breakfast meeting. Should you have a question or a comment, please enter it into the chat box and the host will read it during the question and answer portion of the. Please remember to join us weekly, as we will have our hybrid MLS breakfast meeting every Thursday at 9 a.m. And as always, this meeting is being recorded and will be available online on our YouTube channel at the West San Gabriel Valley Realtors. So the reason I asked you to take a selfie is because the other day I was going through my emails and one of the emails caught my attention. And the article came from the CAR. The email that was reading came from the CAR. And the article, the source for was from Chrome, K-O-I-N, is the streaming news website. And the headline of that article says, Bay Area city named the happiest in America. So it says one study by HouseFresh. It's the website that generates revenues when users buy through links on their website. And that city was also named the smiliest in the country with the score of 70 out of 100. So my question to you, can you guess what city in the Bay Area is? San Francisco. Anybody else? So that was very close. No, San Jose.
San Mateo.
What was that? Bay Area. Monterey Park is not in the Bay Area. So the answer to that is the city of Concord. Anybody knows where Concord is? It's 30 miles from San Francisco and then 20 miles from Berkeley. Okay. So what I was curious when I was reading the email, I say, how did they come up with that conclusion? And it turned out to be that HouseFresh, that company, that what they did, the one that measured the smiley city, what they used is software that analyzed thousands in the database from the Instagram database. So what they do, every time you take a selfie, depending on how happy you are and how much smiling you are, that the software detects that and that gives the result. So that's why I wanted you to take the selfie. So feel free, you can share it in your personal Instagram or feel free to share it in our WSGBR Instagram account, okay? So San Francisco came second place, 62, Sacramento 59, San Diego 56, Long Beach 45, and guess what? Los Angeles came behind with 42 out of 100. So we need to smile more. We need to share more your selfies. So every open house that you do, try to take a selfie with your customer, post it in your Instagram account, and you never know. The next time around, there will be an article saying the happiest association in the West San Gabriel Valley is WHBR. So that was the reason I said that. Okay, trying something different to make it more fun. Okay. Okay, moving on. Like I said, please remember to follow WHBR in the social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also watch our pre-recorded videos on YouTube and join our text message group for update. Text WHBR to the number 888-304-4055. Next, the quick tip from the CRMLS citation policy. A violation of the rule must be corrected within 2 days of receipt of a warning notice of violation sent to the violator or a responsible participant. Failure to timely correct a noted violation will result in the issuance of a citation. Failure to correct a violation within 2 days of receipt of the citation is a violation of the MLS rule 14.4a. and will result in an additional citation for failure to correct. CRMLS will utilize the email address provided by the participant subscriber as contained within the MLS platform. Every MLS participant and subscriber shall be required to maintain a current, accurate, and active email address at which they may be contacted. Today's agenda, we have the affiliate spotlight with our dear Teresa Lamb from Corinthian Title. We also going to have the speaker, Shelly Walsh. She's a compliance supervisor from CRMLS Inc. And we also going to have to be eligible for today's drawing, you must be a WSGBR member. You must be present virtually or in person at the association. It's virtually, your name must be displayed to win. We will not accept telephone number. We will be having an attendance drawing as well. And the WSGBR store gift card and the drawing and 50-50 raffle. So good luck to everyone. So our affiliate spotlight introduction brought to you by the affiliate committee chair, Brandon Saraski, from First American NHD. The vice chair, Joseph Nguyen, from Pillar to Post Home Inspector. So Teresa, please take it away.
1 second.
Microphone. I think the microphone is off. Okay, someone assist them.
Like that. Hello. Okay. All right. Hi, my name is Teresa Lamb. I'm with Corinthian Title Company. And we will have a long weekend coming up. It's Labor Day weekend. So I wish you all a happy Labor Day weekend. Well, it is an honor for me to be in the spotlight and to tell you how blessed I feel working for Corinthian Title Company. But I'm not going to bore you with all the details, such as Corinthian Title has a great organization with a talented and tight-knit leadership at the helm. We have the weekly meetings to update ourselves with the current market conditions, the cutting-edge tools and techniques we learn to coach our agents on how to adapt to the ever-changing real estate market. I am not going to bore you about our preliminary research because they are done by hand, not machines. So since working for Corinthian Title Company, I have not yet experienced any complaints about our prelim report. Most of all, I don't want to bore you about me, yours truly, with about 20 years of experience, title experience, that is, that I have a passionate nature about helping people. So as some of you may know, so being passionate, I would go to the extra mile to help you resolve issues, answer questions, or fulfill your requests. I enjoy my work and feel blessed indeed. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank those who have trusted me and supported us throughout the year with their hard work and the tenacity. We at Corinthian Title Company is dedicating ourselves to achieve the highest level of service, each and every day. So, and not to bore you any further, let's end with a video. Video. Okay.
Good job, Teresa. From 1 to 10, you got 11. Okay, so we are happy to include open pitching to our hybrid MLS breakfast meeting. A reminder, if you would like to pitch your listing, you must go to wsgbr.com and click on open pitch and fill out the caravan request form and submit it no later than Tuesday midnight of the week you want to pitch today. So today we have one listing from Edward Chen of Remax Vertex.
Tomas, we have affiliates first. Affiliate introduction.
The introduction, oh, I missed it. Tell you how rusty I am.
We do the ones on Zoom first.
Okay, yes, I jump ahead one step. I apologize for that. So we're gonna do the affiliate introduction. We're gonna start from the Zoom, right?
Yes.
So I have John Watts. John, are you there?
Good morning, everyone. John Wax with Snap NHD for all your NHD tax and environmental needs. 28 years of experience. I want to wish everyone a wonderful and safe Labor Day weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Unita Wu.
Unita is not with us.
Unita is not. How about Yuri Joe?
Yes.
Good morning.
Judy is.
Good morning.
Morning,
Judy Chow, Senior Loan Officer at AA Capital Investment. I speak Chinese and English. We can close in 20 days. Have a great Labor Days and stay cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yuri. Okay, now we're going to do the affiliates that are present. So please line up in front of the podium. Hi, good morning. I'm pretty sure you took a very good. Angie Time, Executive Fisher. Angie Time, First America.
You. I'm Cosmo Sanchez of New England Funding.
Here you go. We tried so consistent today, right? Thanks to each other, so.
Morning, everyone. Chase Kerr with Morrison Plus Property Inspections.
Good morning, everyone. Jacqueline Chu from Champion Escrow. Good morning, Oriana Chan with Prime Lending. Have a great Labor Day weekend.
Good morning, this is Andy Fan, Chicago Title. Have an amazing day.
Morning, and Shelly of Transcover Landing. Have a great weekend.
Good morning, Alina Chu from Glen Oaks Escrow. I just want to tell the people who are not here that we have yogurt and we have bagels. Have a nice day. And donut.
And they're fancy donuts. They're not your regular donuts. So Chris on Gem Mortgage, have an awesome Labor Day and try and stay cool.
Good morning, Nancy Chan, lawyers title. Have a great weekend.
Good morning, Yolanda Martinez at WFG National Title Company. I have a question. Is the aisle getting narrow or am I getting fatter? Not quite sure. I'm squeezing in there. Hopefully it's the other, but anyhow, have a wonderful, happy and safe Labor Day weekend. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Teresa Lamb again with Corinthian Title Company. Have a wonderful long weekend.
Sage Collins with my NHG. Have a great day.
I think it's the cream cheese and the bacon. Lots of cream cheese and yogurt. Well, that's, no, the cream cheese. This is Lucia Tam representing CAREFA, Chinese American Real Estate Professional Association. Have a great Labor Day weekend and please stay safe. It's gonna be very.
And good morning, everyone. Brandon Spransky with First American NHD. And I was just going to remind all the affiliates, we do have an affiliate committee meeting after this meeting at 10:30. And everyone have a safe and fantastic Labor Day weekend. Yes, stay cool out there and run that AC.
Yeah.
Good morning, David Tran with Home Call Home Warranty. For those people online, you know, I just checked the kitchen. Who took all the cream cheese? And for those people online, you can send your DoorDash driver to pick up your donuts. But and happy Labor Day to you. Just remember, thou shalt not labor on Labor Day. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Okay, now I already said we're gonna have, instead of one, we have two pitching, open pitch. One is via Zoom and the other one is live. So, Edward, are you there? You can start first.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hi, this is Eddie Chen from Remax Vertex, and I have a new listing on the market, 2463 Ridgeway in San Marino. It's over half an acre, and if you want to take a client to view the house, there is a front and the back entry to the house because the house is more in the setback. So if you go with navigation, it will bring you to the front gate, but there is a little street in the back. That's where the CBS code, the Supra is at. And we will have open house today from 10 to 1, this Saturday from 3 to 5 o'clock. So feel free to stop by. We'll service a coffee for everyone today. So see you later. Thanks.
Thank you, Eddie. Who's next?
Mel?
Mel. Mel, go up in front. Hello, Mel.
Hi, everybody. God, I don't know what this mic look like anymore. I haven't been up here, but good news, bad news. Bad news, I got 2 timeshares this weekend. Anybody wants to go on vacation, let me know. Those are high-end Hyatt Vacation Club properties. I got 2 units down in Welk Resort, former Welk Resort in Escondido. Perfect for people with kids. You know, they can play around in the water slides and the pool. I got a 2-bedroom and a 2-bedroom lockout. The 2-bedroom holds 6 people. The 2-bedroom lockout holds 8. That's what they say. Make me an offer. I have another one. Oh, this one is from Saturday to next Saturday. So it's cool. Even if you go 3 days for the kids, they'll enjoy it. Just make me an offer. And then I have another one. I forgot I booked these long time ago. You know, senior moment. I have another one over in Lake Tahoe, North Lake Tahoe. You guys ever heard of North Star? It's a fabulous ski resort, but it's great for summer too. I have a 2-bedroom den. It sleeps 6. It's available on November. No, I think I'm getting senior moment. September 9th to the 16th. 9th to 16th. I haven't been there, but I know it's fabulous from all the pictures. You can look at the pictures. But anyway, make me an offer on that. I got both of them available. Mel Wong, write my number down, 626-252-5668. 626-252-5668. Thanks.
Thank you, Mel. Okay, moving on. Today we are fortunate and privileged to have our guest speaker. She's the Shelley Walsh. She's a compliance supervisor from CRMLS. She's going to talk about the topic is going to be the top violations in CRMLS. So Shelley, a little bit about Shelley. Shelley Walsh is the education and the resources supervisor. The supervisor, Len, can you?
Sorry, yes.
Okay, that's good. One more time. Shelley Walsh is the education and resources supervisor in the compliance department at CRMLS. Shelley has been with CRMLS for 3.5 years, and she started with CRMLS as a compliance analyst. She practiced real estate from 2013 to 2019, and also has worked as an escrow officer and a notary public. Shelley provides presentation to CRMLS members at brokerages and AORs to educate members how to avoid being in violation of the CRMLS rules. So help me welcome our guest speaker, Shelley Walsh. Shelley, take it over.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Let me share my screen here and we will get started on the presentation. All right, can someone just confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes,
Yes, we can see it.
Great. Okay, so thank you again for having me. My name is Shelley Walsh. I'm one of the compliance supervisors here at CRMLS, and today I am going to bring you a presentation that covers our top violations. So we are going to get started with how do you reach compliance in the event that you do need to reach us for whatever reason. We do have an email address that we have a 24-hour turnaround on. I'll be providing you with that address at the end of the presentation. But the easiest way to reach all of the compliance resources actually on our website is to go through our website. So where do you find us? You find us at go.crmls.org. Once you go into that website, this is the screen that you're going to see. As you can see where the red arrow is, you're going to click on this compliance button right here, and it's going to take you to this screen here. So this screen here basically has anything and everything and gives you accessibility to anything and everything that you're possibly going to need when it comes to reaching the compliance department, having your questions answered. So just to go over this real quickly, up to on the upper left, that's probably the most important thing on here is our chat line. So the live chat is actually the easiest way to reach compliance. It's manned by live compliance analysts who are all fully trained in all of our rules and regulations. And I pretty much can guarantee that they will be able to help you on the spot and assist you with whatever it is that you are inquiring about. As you can see, if you go down the page a little bit, each one of these is actually a button when you're truly in the website. So here you can access under rules and policies, our full set of rules and regulations and our citation policy. We've made it easier now to reach all of our forms instead of having to kind of go through the weeds like you used to have to do. Now you can just go click on coming soon form, it'll pop up the form. Citation review request, it's going to pop up that form. Auto sold correction, buyer's agent change requests, how to register a listing. So if you have an excluded listing, now the process is to register that listing. So there you go. You can click on that button right there. So again, I'll go back, go.crmls.org, click on compliance, and it takes you to all of these resources. So I'm going to start off with educating you on how our citation and violation processes work. So here's a copy of our citation policy, part of it. It's broken down into 4 columns. The first column is the rule number. The second column is if the rule comes with a warning. The third column is a summary of the rule. And then the fourth column is the fine amount in the event that you are found to be in violation. So how this works is, let's say that we receive a report, we open an investigation, and we find that perhaps something needs to be corrected on one of your listings. And perhaps the rule that applies to whatever this report is does come with a warning. We are going to reach out to you via email, and we are going to provide you specifically with what needs to be corrected on this listing. We're going to give you 2 days to please make this correction. If you do not make the correction within 2 days, then we will move forward and we will issue a citation. Within that citation, we're going to ask you again and provide you with another 2 days to please make the correction. We also sometimes, instead of reaching out and asking you to make a correction, we may request additional documentation from you so that we can determine if a violation has taken place. If we request documentation, again, you have 2 days to provide that to us. If you don't provide us with the documentation requested, unfortunately, we again move forward and issue a citation. So if a rule does not come with a warning, and you're found to be in violation, we have enough evidence to prove that, we will not be sending that warning notice. We will just send you a citation with the fine attached. So in either of these cases, whether you've received a warning or a straight citation, if it ultimately ends in a citation, what do? You have 20 calendar days at that point, once you receive a citation, to do one of 2 things. You can either pay the fine. If you're in agreement with it, you say, oh, I made a mistake. This is my fault. I'll go ahead and pay the fine. Or you can submit what's called a citation review request form. So this form is one of those buttons that I just showed you on the previous screen. What happens is you're going to fill this form out. You're going to send it back to us electronically. Basically, it's just your side of the story, the series of events as you saw that they took place. So you're going to send this back to us. We're going to review it, make sure that it's been filled out complete. At that time, the fine amount that was attached to the citation you received is going to temporarily be withdrawn. So we are not going to make that fine amount due and payable at that time. We're going to set it aside for the time being. We're going to take that citation review request form. We're going to package it up with our case information. We're going to send it off to your association so that they can review all of the information and they can make a final determination as to whether or not they are going to uphold the citation that was issued. In the event that they choose to uphold it, they're going to let us know. And at that time, we will reinstate that fine and send you a separate invoice to make that due and payable. If for some reason they choose not to uphold our citation, then they're going to let us know that as well. And everything will basically we'll close the book on it and no further action will be required. So here's the top violations we're going to talk about today. But first, I'd like to talk about the statistics for the West San Gabriel Valley. So year to date, from January 1st of this year, the reports that we've received for the West San Gabriel Valley Association are 529. Out of those 529, we have determined that 135 were true violations, and so we did issue 135 citations. Out of those citations that were issued and reports received, the most violated rule was our rule 11.5.1, which is no photo on your listing. And we'll be talking a little bit more about that in just a minute. So the first rule we're going to talk about is also rule 11.5, but this has to do with branding. And so it reads that photos, virtual tours, and any media submitted to the MLS must not contain any branding or promotional information related to the listing broker or agent. So photographs and virtual tours may not contain any of the following. You cannot have any agent, broker, or brokerage names, photos, or logos on any of your media or photos or virtual tours. You cannot have any phone numbers, website addresses, email addresses, no for sale or for lease signs in your photos or on your virtual tours. You can't capture any open house signs, no messages, solicitations, text overlays. All of that is going to be considered branding. When it comes to the biggest violation that we have with branding, it is for sale signs that are captured in photos and then uploaded to listings. Please make sure that when you're taking your exterior photo that you do not have a for sale sign or for lease sign in that photo, because it will be found in violation. That is a no warning violation, and you will be issued a citation for that, and those photos will be removed from your listing. So just make sure that if your yard sign is already up for some reason, you're going to have to strategically somehow take your exterior photo and not include that yard sign. When it comes to images of people or animals on the MLS, basically they're not allowed. The only exceptions to this would be, well, first of all, any photos with children in them will immediately be removed. But when it comes to any other exceptions regarding people, as an example, if you're selling a coastal property and you want to upload a photo of the nearest beach, there's probably going to be people on that beach, but as long as those people in that photo are not identifiable, maybe they have their back turned to the camera, they're walking down the beach away from the camera, or you've captured people that are far enough away that their faces are almost to the point where they're blurred out, they cannot be identified. That's probably not going to be found in violation. Same thing with animals. If you're selling a ranch style property and maybe there's a barn or there's horse stables and there's horses or livestock in those stalls, that's not going to be found in violation because it does correlate with the type of property that you're selling. However, please just do not upload something along the lines of just a horse or just a livestock animal, because that has nothing to do with the property. It's probably not going to go with the sale of the property, and so we're not going to allow that. Virtual tours, again, all the things I just mentioned, your virtual tours cannot contain any of this. Biggest violation we see with virtual tours has to do with usually the opening of a virtual tour where there may be an agent introducing themselves. I'm so-and-so, and this is my new listing. You can't identify yourself. You can't identify your brokerage. You can open the video and appear in it and say, we have a new listing, or there is a new listing at such and such address. The other thing that we see violation-wise with virtual tours is at the end of the tour, after the tour has been viewed, there could be a few seconds of a pop-up that says, for more information about this property, contact, and then there's contact information. That is not allowed. That's going to be considered branding, and that's all those virtual tours will be removed from your listing. When it comes to YouTube videos, the biggest violation with that has to do with the channel name. So please do not use channel names that are your name as the listing agent. No brokerage names, no team names. Agents usually get around this by creating a new channel name using just the property's address. So copyright issues also fall under Rule 11.5. This rule reads that by submitting any media to the MLS, the participant and subscriber represent and warrant that they own the right to reproduce and display the media, or that they have procured such rights and all necessary licenses from appropriate parties. So this basically boils down to origination or creation or ownership of photos and media, and permission to use. So we have three scenarios here. So scenario number one is, if you take the photos yourself, do you need permission to use them? Obviously not, because you're the owner, you're the creator of those photos, you have the originals in your possession, so you don't need anyone's permission. Scenario number two is, if a photographer takes the photos on your behalf, do you need permission to use those? And the answer to this is yes. So even though you may have paid a photographer to take photos, that does not mean that you own those photos. The photographer still owns those photos. They are the originator or the creator of those photos. They have the originals in their possession. So you need to get written permission from that photographer prior to uploading any of those photos that you purchased. And sometimes photographers have their own written agreements, but if they do not, then there's a form that we recommend. It's not required, but we do recommend it. It's in zip forms, and it's called the PIA. I have an example of it here on the next slide, but it's the PIA, or Property Images Agreement. Again, we just recommend it. It's a pretty simple form, and it protects all parties involved. Scenario number three is, if you use photos from a prior listing or another website, do you need permission to use those? And the answer to this is yes. So if you have a new listing and you happen to go to the MLS and you look at the last time this property was on the MLS, maybe you like those photos, or there's a few photos that you want to use. Maybe they're HOA photos or what have you. So if you want to use those photos that badly, you're going to need to find out who took those photos and who owns them and who has possession of the originals. So maybe it's the previous listing agent. Maybe they took the photos themselves. You're going to have to contact them and find that out. If they hired a photographer, you're going to have to find out who that photographer was, contact them, get the originals from them, as well as written permission to use those photos. Even if you get written permission from a previous listing agent or photographer, you always need to upload originals. You still cannot, even with written permission, go into a previous listing and right click and copy photos and transfer them over to a new listing. You cannot do that. And we will know that that's done because every time a photo is uploaded to the MLS, in the bottom right corner, something is generated. It's called a watermark, and all it says is CRMLS. And if it's just a clean watermark, then we know that was an original photo that was uploaded. If you right click and copy from a previous listing, you're now taking the first watermark from the previous listing, you're uploading it to your listing, which is generating another watermark. Now we've got what's called a double watermark. And if we get reports that someone is using my photos from a previous listing and I did not give them authorization, that's the first thing that we look for, is that double watermark. And if it is there, those photos are removed and we will issue you a no warning citation in the amount of $1,500. So copyright issues are very, very important and should be taken seriously. When it comes to, can I use Google, Bing, Yahoo, Getty, or other third-party images? The answer to this is no. And the reason for this is because they are not, these third parties will never give you the proper sufficient written documentation to allow you to use their media. So please don't right click and copy anything off of the internet. Biggest violation we see with this has to do with Google Street Images. So if an agent doesn't have time to get out and take the required exterior photo of their listing within 2 days of having uploaded the listing, sometimes they'll grab that Google Street View and they'll upload that, whether it's temporarily or permanently. That's in violation. You cannot do that. Same thing with any Google map view or satellite views, aerial views, map pins. You cannot use any of those third-party images. Here is a part of the property images agreement form, the PIA. Again, this will suffice for written authorization from a photographer or third party to use their photos. And it's not required. This form is not required, but and you also do not need to submit to us any written authorization that you do obtain. You just keep it for your files in the event that we ever do request it. So moving on to the rule 11.5.1. So if you'll remember, this is the one that West San Gabriel Valley, it was their #1 citation violation issued. So this rule reads that a listing must include at least one photo of the exterior of the structure listed in the MLS. So this photo does need to be, at least one photo of the exterior of the property needs to be entered into the MLS within 2 days of entering your listing. And it does need to stay on the listing at all times under all statuses. So if your listing expires or you cancel it, whatever the status is, you always have to leave one exterior photo on your listing. The only 2 exceptions to this are if the listing cancels completely within the first 5 calendar days after you've entered it, we're not going to require that. And then if your listing is a business opportunity, we're not going to require a photo there either. This exterior photo does not have to be of the front of the property, and it also does not have to be your primary photo on your listing. You can put it wherever you want to within the shuffle of the photos. And as far as it not being the front of the property, if maybe the back of the property, it's a really nice backyard with really nice back view of the patio of the home or what have you, that is fine. It doesn't have to be the front of the property. So moving on to inaccurate information, this is rule 8.3. Basically, this is just saying, please make sure that all of the information that you're uploading to your listing is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge. This covers things such as bedroom counts, bathroom counts, square footage of the property. It can also cover things like maybe your map pin. You put your map pin in the wrong place. That's considered inaccurate information. And we are going to reach out to you and ask you to please make any corrections to any inaccurate information. We're going to give you 2 days to make those corrections. And if the corrections are not made, then unfortunately we will move forward and issue a citation. So just make sure when you're checking off all of your features box and writing your public property description, that all of that information is as accurate as you know that as you know it to be. So auto sold listings. So auto sold is a status that happens when a seller accepts an offer and you go in within your 2 days again, which you're required to do, and you change the status to either active, under contract, or pending. The system is going to, there's going to populate a mandatory field called an estimated close of escrow date, in which you're going to enter the date that you're expecting to close escrow. You do need to pay attention to this date, because if this date comes and goes, 5 days passes after this date and you haven't updated your listing, maybe it closed escrow and you forgot to close out your listing. Maybe escrow got extended and you forgot to extend this estimated close of escrow date. Whatever the case may be, if 5 days passes after the date that you have entered, then the system is going to automatically close your listing. And you're going to know that this has happened because the status will now say closed. There'll be a red flag next to the word closed, and you're not going to have access to your listing. The system locks you out until you come to us and we can verify what the correct status of this listing should be. And we go in and we make that change for you. And then if you're still going to be in active, under contract, or pending, you again will have access to your listing, or we can close it out for you under whatever circumstances you tell us. So what we're going to do when you do fall into, if you do fall into auto sold status, is we are going to tell you to go to our website, go to compliance, and then that next page with all those buttons, there is a form there called the auto sold correction form. You're going to click on that and you're going to fill in all of the details and then electronically send that over to us. So we do try and help you keep track of that estimated close of escrow date. We start sending you email notifications. We begin sending those out 14 days prior to the date of estimated close of escrow. We send additional notifications 7 days prior, 1 day prior, the day of, 2 days after, and 5 days after. So there's plenty of opportunity to remember that you need to do something with that date. Moving on to public remarks restrictions. So this falls under Rule 12.5. The property description field should only be used to describe the property's physical and aesthetic characteristics. So remember that this is a public facing field, that certain information should not be privy to the public, such as gate codes, showing instructions. And what we mean by that is, as an example, we had someone put in public remarks that the property wasn't able to be shown on a Saturday afternoon from 3 to 6 because there were small children home alone. Showing instructions don't belong in public remarks. There is a separate field for that. Same thing with compensation information. That is between brokerages. That's not public information to be known. Lockbox information. We don't want to be pointing out where the keys to the property are, even though you could probably find the lockbox if you went to the property. But again, there's special fields, either private remarks or showing instructions is where this would go. Occupancy status of the property. Please don't note that the property is vacant, because we don't want vandalism or squatters. No email addresses, phone numbers, agent or brokerage information, no websites can go into public remarks. And the reason for this is because if you are a buyer's agent and you are sending listings out to your potential buyer, and the listing agent's name and contact information is right there in the public remarks to be seen, they could potentially pick up the phone and call that listing agent, and who knows, potentially you could lose a client. So to make it a fair playing field, we just don't allow that contact information in this field. No open house information in public remarks. There's a separate field for that. And then no language that violates applicable fair housing guidelines. So how do you know what that is? Again, go back to our website, go to compliance. You then click on one of those buttons that says knowledge base, and knowledge base is going to take you into a search bar. And if you search fair housing in the search bar, it's going to populate a list of words that are not to be used, basically, that will be found in fair housing. So I suggest that everybody visits that knowledge base, types in fair housing, and you can take a look at what those words and terms are. And then the last rule that we're going to talk about is failure to correct a violation. This is Rule 14.4. So this rule reads that failure to correct a violation will result in the issuance of a second citation and fine under Rule 14.4 issued to the listing agent. So if you receive a citation from us and we have asked you to make a correction to a listing, and you don't do it, we are going to issue you a second citation for failing to correct the violation when we asked you to in the first citation. So we're not citing you for the same violation. The second citation under this rule has to do with the fact that we asked you in a citation to please make a correction and you did not do it. Within this citation, if you are unfortunate enough to receive one, within the 14.4, we will ask you again. We're going to give you another 2 days to please correct the violation. And if at this time you do not still correct the violation, we are going to issue a citation under the same rule to either your office manager or your broker. And the reason why is because they have been copied on all of the correspondence that we have been sending to you. So they should be well aware that something is going on. We're trying to get a listing corrected to help with the accuracy of the data within the MLS. And they should be following up with you saying, you know, why are you not fixing this, or whatever the case may be. If the broker of record chooses to not pay the fine on the citation that they were issued, they could be eligible for suspension from the MLS. And if a broker gets suspended, then the entire office loses their access to the MLS until that broker is either replaced or they pay the fine. So please don't ignore communications from us, because I think everybody agrees nobody wants to get their entire office, their access to the MLS suspended. Okay, so we are here to help you. So support, our customer support. This is our customer care department. This is when you call in the people that answer the phones. They are available additionally by live chat and an online ticketing system. If you're having a problem, you can submit tickets there. They're there 7 days a week to help you. Monday through Friday, it's 8:30 to 9, and then Saturdays and Sundays, it's 10 to 3. And then as you can see, you can reach them at crmls.org/support. And then compliance, that's our department. Again, we are available through the route that I showed you earlier. That's where you can reach our live chat, which is the best way to reach us. We do have FAQs. Our full set of rules and regulations are all under our page. Our live chat, we are there Monday through Friday. We're not available on weekends, but we're there Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4. We don't have an inbound phone line. And the reason for that is because the majority of what we do is very sensitive. And so we do need to have our communications primarily in writing. And so that is why we have basically the live chat and email as far as communication with you. And this is our email address for compliance. So it is compliance@crmls.org. And like I said, we do shoot for a 24-hour turnaround or less, and we're pretty successful with that. So that is the end of my presentation. I can open it up to questions.
Thank you, Shelley. I'm going to give the opportunity to the live audience for Q&A. I have a couple of questions from the chat, but the live audience is priority. So does anyone have any question related to the topic? We only have like a couple minutes. Anyone has a question? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Shelley, Seal Radar here. You didn't mention how much the fines are. Can you tell us, do we have negotiation with those fines, or is it a set fine?
They are set fines. They range between $100 and $1,500. And once a citation has been issued by CRMLS, really the only route, we cannot pull back a citation. So the only route, if you want to contest it or negotiate the fine amount, would be to submit that citation review request form and then have the association review it and make your request at that time as to whether or not they can reduce the fine. But once a citation is issued from CRMLS, there is nothing we can do to pull it back.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, I'm going to go through the chat. Shelley, there is a question. I'm not sure if this is related. I don't even know what does that mean. This is a question from Lori Hintz. She said, "Hi, Shelley. Can you go over the SELM as far as dates? Is that related to the topic?"
Yeah, so that's the exclusion form through zip forms. I'm not sure what the question is about the SELM. Yeah, so the SELM form comes into play when a listing agreement is being signed and you're obviously going to have to enter the listing unless you submit an exclusion form because maybe the seller isn't quite ready to put their house or their property on the MLS. So an exclusion form basically buys you time to not enter that listing. It can be for a few days or it can be for the entire duration of the listing if the seller decides they don't want their listing to show in the MLS at all. So that is the form that's required. It's no longer required to be submitted to us as it used to be. You keep that for your files. But what you do have to do now, if you have an exclusion form, is you've got to go into the dashboard on your matrix system, and it's a button called the listing toolbox. And you can go and then you would click on register my listings. And it's a very simple process. You just fill in 5 fields. Basically, it's the beginning and end date of the listing agreement. If you have a start showing date, what the price is, and the property address. So it's real simple. Or instead of going through that process, listing toolbox, again, you can go back to our compliance page and there is one of those buttons that says register my listing. So that's probably a much easier, more direct way to go.
Okay, thank you, Shelley. And one more question for the chat. Can I misrepresent a listing size, yes, meaning square footage, by combining the MDA square footage into the main dwelling?
So the answer to that is yes, you can. So if you have an additional 500 square feet from an ADU, you're able to include that in the total square footage on the listing. However, you do have to make a notation that the square footage includes ADU of 500 square feet. So as long as you're making a notation of that, yes, you can add that. You can.
Okay, very good. That kind of makes sense. Okay. All right. So on behalf of the West San Gabriel Valley Realtors, we would like to thank our speaker for her very informative presentation. So Shelley, we appreciate spending the time and sharing all this valuable information. Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
All right, so moving on, I think we are running out of time. I gotta speed it up. It is time for our WSGBR drawing. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
We have a picture.
We have one more, I apologize, we have one more open teaching and it's for Laura Patterson. She has listening via Zoom. So Laura, are you there? I know you're hosting the open house today, so we don't want to miss that information from your listing. So go for it, Laura. Share your listing.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Hello, can you hear me and see me?
Yes, we can hear you. But how about, are you sharing your listing? Do we have
We don't.
We don't. You just
Okay,
briefly describe, give us the address, price, and the time of your open house, and make it very brief because we're running out of time. Okay, you can
Yes, I'm
start.
at 401 Adeline Drive. Can you hear me?
Yes,
I'm at 401 Adeline Drive. Okay, I'm at 401 Adeline Drive in North San Gabriel, right at the border of San Marino. It's a Spanish colonial house. And although it's common in this neighborhood, very few go on the market. It's the only Spanish colonial. There's only been one other sold in the last year. So it's a unique property in that it's an historic property that's been completely renovated.
Price?
So my open house is from 10 to 2 today.
And what is the price?
And the price is 14999. Essentially 1.5
Okay,
for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, fully renovated house.
okay. And the open house is from what? From noon to 2, or what is the time?
10 to 2.
10 to 2. Okay, thank you, Laura. Thank you for sharing your listing. Okay, let's move on with the attendance drawing. How much are we giving? Right now is $825. Good luck to so spin the wheel.
Coming.
It's coming.
Yep.
Who's the lucky winner today? Wow. Kenny, is that our Kenny fan? Oh, Kenny fan. That's close. Is he here?
Not here.
Okay. Okay, so next will be what, $850? Next week?
Let's see.
Okay,
Give me
let's
one
keep moving.
second.
All right, so moving on. You guys probably noticed our donor got upgraded. So beginning this one, thank you to the MLS committee for beginning this. So beginning this one, we'll be serving tables, yogurt, gourmet donuts, and pastries. So we also have be giving away the prize each week for those attending in person. So I'm going to call Nanette to explain what are the rules for the drawing.
Also, those of you who are here know we are filming a Netflix movie in our quarters and the next door in the Golden Soup. So we've got a lot of people on set. We've got this reserved for today, but if you come during the week, we're open. So make sure that you know that you're going to enter and go, what is happening? Okay, Nanette, take it away.
I thought Phil was explaining this. I can do it as well. So behind us, you'll see all these nice little gifts. It's not for some particular birthday person only. It's for all of you for a chance to win something. We decided to put something together that'd be fun for the rest of the year. We know at the beginning of the year, we didn't come back in person. So we wanted to do something a little different, add a splash of fun to in-person meetings. Sorry to the ones in Zoom, you have to come in person for these lovely gifts. So what we have done here is we've added another extra splash of fun in it. I don't know if anybody has watched the game Let's Make a Deal. They have zonkers. So we put a couple of zonkers in here. So some of them are nice gifts and some of them are gifts with zonkers. So we won't tell you which one. That's the fun of it. That's the guessing game. So for those that have a chance to win are those that put their business card in the tumbler.
If you forgot, it is a time to put your business card.
Yeah, anybody wants to put their business cards in right now has the last
You
chance.
have a last chance, don't be shy.
And if we do call your name, you come up here and pick a gift and open it in front of everybody here in person and everybody on Zoom. So let's go. I'll pretend to do that song. Din, 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 din. Okay, let's see what Sil picked. She's picking a name in the tumbler. And wow, the one who picked his timeshare, Mel Wong. Come on down, Mel Wong. They're numbered here behind us.
You say 9, he said 9.
I know this one, Mel.
Wow.
This is what Mel picked. So, oh, go ahead and open it up. I think you might have to share this one.
He doesn't even bring.
It's an empty bag. It's an empty bag. Just paper, you know, paper is valuable nowadays. It's Patron Silver Tequila, right? So we don't have to pay for the timeshare now, right? You just come to your timeshare with this. Congratulations.
Cosmo, is that a good tequila?
Okay, Mel's card been put back in the tumbler for the $25 gift certificate from Amazon.
Nice.
So
win,
every
Mel.
single week, you come here, you put your card in, you'll get to pick a present other than number 9. And so we're trying to bring people into the meeting. So come on in.
As no one's up here, I just want to thank whoever went to get Randy's donut, because I know that's not close by, so let's give it a round of applause to the one who got Randy's donut.
Okay, we going with Amazon gift card. 3 Amazon gift card for $25. First one. Lucky Gustavo.
Yeah.
Gustavo Enrique. Dia Ku from Century Ranks West Coast.
Who, Gustavo?
And the third one is Nancy Hunt. Congratulations.
I'm sorry, what was the name of the second winner?
The second winner, I'm sorry, I couldn't pronounce your name.
Oh. I'll just have the cards.
Yeah.
Just leave them up there. I'll get them after. Just leave them there.
Okay, congratulations to the 3 winners. Now let's move on with. It's a 50-50?
No, education.
Yeah, let's move on with the education classes. The list of upcoming classes displayed on the screen. We have the 45-hour DRE license renewal. We have the 2020 Realtor Safety Summit. September, of course, it is a safety month. We also have the CRMLS virtual training, and last but not least, the SIP 4 plus hybrid training. Okay, let's move on. We are also having a party. Join us for the 100th birthday party on Friday, September the 16th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. There will be food, drinks, games, karaoke, dancing, and you must RSVP. RSVP. Okay? I believe you have to pay $20 and that will be reversed after you show
No,
up.
their card is not charged. It's just a deposit.
Right, there is a
to-
deposit.
But their card is not charged if they show up.
Correct. If you don't show up, of course, you're gonna get charged. Okay, the next event is the local candidate forum that has been rescheduled. It was supposed to be September the 8th. Now it has been moved to September 28th, 2022 from 5 to 7 p.m. There will be food and refreshment will be provided. So don't forget to register today. Okay, we also save the date for our installation luncheon. It's going to be on December the 2nd, and the tickets are now on sale. And there will be a sponsorship opportunities available. And please call or email Belen for information on a sponsorship. Okay, now the 50-50 raffle. Okay, how much is it? It is $54. Lucky number is 7764. 670-7764. I guess I am not the winner. Wow. Still, congratulations. $54. Congratulations, still. Okay, moving on. Please join us next week. We will welcome attorney Christina Lewis, who will be talking about the importance of living trust. And once again, congratulations to WSUBR on your 100th birthday. Thank you everyone for attending our meeting today, and please don't forget to share your selfies on Instagram. And this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you so much.